In the Gospel, Jesus gives an example of a pregnant lady, the pangs of childbirth. After 9 months, usually a baby is born, a baby comes out of the womb of a mother. But exceptionally, sometimes it happens in the 8th month, 7th month, and sometimes even before that. But this mother who is carrying, she knows, only she knows. Other persons may guess, mostly it is very difficult. I used to say this example when I tell my testimony. I was discerning for priesthood, and after finishing my master's in computers, I told my father I want to join seminary. My father said, no, wait. You work 3 years. After 3 years, still if you feel like, you can go. And just before that, while I was doing my degree and post-graduation, I was involved in the church activities. So maybe because you are active in the church, going to the regularly, participating in the choir, so and so, maybe you are like infatuation kind of a thing. Maybe it is not a true call. So I want you to wait. And he also told, stop the activities. You can go to the church, but not too much. So I waited 3 years. After 3 years, I myself was confused. Then during that process, Jesus Youth came to my life. And to discern, I took 1 year break. I resigned the job and I went to full-timership in Thailand. Then I was a full-timer as a missionary throughout India. I was going all over India in 2007 and 8. After that 1 year, I got confirmation. I was very clear that I should become priest. And that is the will of God. It's not just my desire. And during that process, I was given spiritual director, Father Cherian Nerevitil. Yesterday I was narrating today his death anniversary, first death anniversary. So Father was my spiritual director. And after listening all my story with all the details, he said, maybe God is asking you to become a priest for the Jesus Youth movement. So maybe that is what God is asking. So maybe I also thought, I took his interpretation. Yes, maybe. Then things went on. Then I approached my father. My father said, wait another 3 years. So it's already 4 years past. 2004, I told my father. Then he asked me 3 years. 2007, I went to full-timership. And 2008, I am asking him again with lot of conviction, clarity, with all the spiritual experiences. But my father said, no, wait another 3 years. You work, support the family. I said, obedience. For us, most of the people who are in the church or religious life, people who are living, who are preparing. For religious, obedience comes first. For that matter, for any Christian. That's what Bible says, like obedience is better than the sacrifice. So that is the main thing, the prime virtue. Even this evangelical councils, we say poverty, chastity, obedience. Actually, obedience, then poverty, then chastity. So obedience is the first thing. So people, and even my spiritual director, Father Cherian Nerevitil, and other people also suggested obedience. So I obeyed my father. Then I continued working. I got the job. Now 5 years passed. So as per my father, I have to wait the 3 years. Then after 1 year, mentally I prepared, to obey my father to continue another 3 years. And I started working. But after 1 year, I was feeling restless, like this pregnant lady who is giving childbirth prematurely in the 7th month or 8th month. I know after 3 years only he will allow me. But I was feeling, no, this is the time I have to join the seminary. And nothing is there. And even in 2009, Jesus Youth Priesthood formation also not started. But I was like very strong conviction. And sometimes when I used to tell like this example, like a pregnant lady knows prematurely, yes, this child is coming out. This is the time. So I resigned the job and then I told my father, I have to join. Then my father was angry naturally, but still after 1 week he said, okay, I can stop you for some years. Already 5 years I could stop you, but I cannot stop you. I understand. You go. Then that's how I entered into the seminary on 19th June 2009. That date is special because that is the inauguration of Year of Priests. So on the inauguration of Year of Priests, I entered the seminary for Jesus Youth In 1985, Jesus Youth started in the year of youth. Then Jesus Youth Priesthood started in 2009 on the year of priests. So I joined and I became priest. What I want to tell with all these things, surely God speaks to us, just like we read in the first reading. St. Paul is going through a difficult situation. People are beating him, quarreling and accusing him, taking him to the court, wanted to put him in prison, even kill him. But St. Paul is sensing very clear voice. I have many people, don't be afraid. You just go preaching and things will be okay. So that inner voice is there. But it is also should coincide with the outward circumstances. As today we celebrate Saint Augustine of Canterbury. It is Gregory the Great, the Pope, who chose Augustine to send for missions. And he obeyed that obedience, which brought good news to the people, English people, England, and so on. And within 7 years of his ministry, he could establish as a bishop almost 12 dioceses in that time. Augustine of Canterbury is the missionary patron for the English church. When we allow ourselves to God, the promptings of the Spirit, and when we are docile, obedient, God works in our life and God also brings blessing to others. Let us ask God this virtue of obedience to grow more and more in our life.